stories are. What are stories?
Figments of our imagination.
Figment of your imagination.
Of everybody, their imagination.
Whose imagination?
Whoever wrote it.
But if they wrote it, how is it their imagination?
Whoever posted it.
Oh, okay.
They're the figment of the figments.
Oh, I'm recording, by the way.
Are you really? We're already doing this?
Yes. So it's in between the holiday season. Did you get any Christmas shopping done yet? Have you done any?
I hardly ever Christmas shop.
You hardly ever Christmas shop. What are you, Scrooge?
I don't blow money on that, like, just for no reason. I mean, if I have it to blow, yeah, I'll get people stuff. But
I guess we're Americans. We're guilty of that. Blowing money for no apparent reason. No, I
focus more on needs than trivial stuff.
I can say I've started Christmas shopping, but I'm not ready for Christmas yet, and it is almost the Christmas season.
I, unlike you and the masses, don't have children, so I ain't gotta blow money that way.
That's true.
So
you do have the advantage. You don't have to buy for anybody.
Have to being the keywords, yeah. Have to, which is nice. That is very nice. I don't have to buy it for anybody.
That's true. That's true. I'll tell you what, though. We're talking about holiday season. I don't know if I've never been. I can tell you one thing I've never done, and a lot of people have done this. Some of my friends I know have done this, but I've never been winter camping. Have you been winter camping before?
It makes no sense. Why would you do that?
People that climb mountains and stuff like that, they camp in the snow all the time.
Well,
I just wondered if you've ever experienced
that's purposeful. So no,
that's purposeful.
If you're hiking a mountain and you have to, that's a necessity at that point. Not like, oh yeah, let's camp in the snow on a mountain.
I know people that have
just
been winter camping. Now, I can say that one camp that I have been to is during New Year's, but it's in the southern states, so it doesn't always get cold. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it's warm when you go down there. It was like a kids camp I did with my youth group, but I've never been like winter camping. Even camping down at that camp, we were in warm cabins. Like our cabins had heaters.
That's not camping.
I mean, for us it was camping. I mean, it was a youth group.
It's camping. A building though. It's not camping.
I mean,
I don't see it that way.
It's a shed. It was like literally a shack.
It's wood. Got a roof. I don't count that as
camping.
So
what defines camping then?
Tent.
Because then you're saying that anybody that stays in an RV is not.
No, I'm not saying that isn't. I'm just saying that's not genuinely camping.
Oh,
so I'm breaking camping down to
we're gonna start
old school tent. You made the shelter that you're sleeping under.
Bro, we're gonna
start
like fights in the car with this.
I mean, I would if I had the choice between tent and RV. Heck yeah, I'd pick the RV. But I'm saying if you break it down to camping as camping, literally.
So really, he would sis out and pick the RV.
Just because I don't like it. I never claimed to like it.
Well, I went camping when I was younger. I could do that, but now I just don't like sleeping on the ground. I can't sleep on the ground. I think it's just
as a necessity.
Now,
like
if it was like the end of the world type stuff, of course I'd be sleeping wherever, like whatever. But me personally, like my personal preference, I just can't sleep on the ground anymore.
No, I've tried
Not like I used to.
That's awful. But I have done it before.
It hurts.
When I was down in Florida, I literally I was so tired I fell asleep in a field. And my brother was like, he was aghast that I did it. He's like, how the heck did you do that? And I was like, I was tired, bro. It didn't matter. Like, if you're tired enough, you'll sleep anywhere.
You will.
So,
no, that's true. The one thing I did, and when you're a kid, it's not as bad when you're an adult, because when you're a kid, you can almost sleep anywhere. But as I grew up, now we do have luxury camping now. So like you can literally get stuff to sleep on the ground, and it doesn't feel like you're sleeping on the ground. We even have those cots, those military cots you can pull out.
I actually slept on one of those once.
Yeah, those are not bad at all. Like I've slept on cots.
Pretty awful.
I've slept on cots. I've slept on, and I'll tell you what, I'll take the cots and the mattresses and stuff over the sleeping on the ground any day. But yeah, I just can't do it like that anymore. I've never been winter camping per se. I know that some of my friends have gone winter camping. I just don't find any joy in that. I like to do summer stuff.
I tell you what is good on the ground though.
What?
Needles, pine needles.
True.
If you have those, I recommend that.
Yeah, true.
I have slept on those.
Or
before.
Anything soft.
Anything. I mean, leaves.
They used to
big leaves.
What was it? The old school mattresses in the 1900s were stuffed with
feathers,
straw and feathers,
yeah.
right? So yeah, like if you have straw or feathers.
I don't see how. Like I understand, like the feathers themselves are soft, but you still got that spine or whatever through them. So
same with the straw. I think if you hit it wrong,
straw would probably be better because it's pretty weightless.
I feel
so
like
if you have a mass of it, then.
I feel like both of them, okay? And this is just my imagination.
That's probably why.
I feel like both of them, this is my imagination, but I feel like if you rolled over wrong on straw or feathers,
it'd poke you.
It would, yeah, exactly. Like you'd
come up through there and just jab you.
You wake up the next morning, you got holes in your back.
That's probably why they stopped using it.
But yeah, that's just my imagination. I don't know if that's true. I haven't done that.
No, that's definitely true.
But yeah, that's probably why they improved the pillow making system to where if they make feather pillows, they have
just the down,
thicker linen, and
I'm pretty sure they just use the down from the feathers and.
But they still make feather pillows
with the stem or whatever.
Yeah, but what they do is the inside of the pillow has a thicker.
Is that a bone
lining? I want to say lining.
Is that a bone through the middle there?
I don't know.
That's what I was wondering for a minute. Wait a minute.
If it was classified as that, I'd have to look that up. It's like
what is the stick in the middle of a feather? Like, do we call it a stick? Do we call it a bone?
What is the material?
This is some random stuff right here.
In the middle.
What is in the middle of a feather? What's it classified as?
Feather. I've never really.
I'm thinking bone, like a bone of some sort. Like
it's called the shaft.
Cartilage. Shaft.
Feathers are made from a tough and flex material called keratin. The spine down the middle, called the shaft, is hollow. The veins are. I mean, you could kind of classify them as bones.
A hollow bone.
I mean, that's what they're saying. It's a tough and flexible material, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. I've never looked this up. Even as a kid, I didn't know what feathers were made out of. Is that sad?
Sleeping on bird bones in a way. If you think about it, feathery bird bones.
I mean, I would call it a bone. It's kind of like a Halloween bed. There you go. It's a Halloween bed. Bird bones.
Bird bones.
No, somebody in the comments will probably correct us. I'm not sure.
Do you have comments?
What the actual? Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual thing is called. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad I don't camp like we used to, bro. I'm glad we don't sleep on straw and feathers anymore. We could, but I'm glad we don't.
I kind of want to go try to collect a bunch of feathers now.
Try to collect
and be like, "Hey, pillow."
That isn't to say I don't think camping
stuff
is
a case
cool.
with them.
I think there's a lot of cool things you can do during camping. I also like for winter. This is just a personal preference of mine, but for winter. I like the cabins, like having a cabin in the mountains is really cool. Like, I think that's a lot of fun. And then you go outside and you put your snow gear on and then you just like snowboard down the mountain. I think that would.
Yeah, but a cabin is essentially a house. So how's it?
Listen, that's my style of camping right there. It's called glamping. It's called glamping.
You're a glamper.
I am the best glamper. But
they talk about that in Supernatural too. Glamper.
But when it comes to
what's a glamper?
When it comes to summer, yeah, I can camp all day long, but I just can't sleep on the ground anymore.
TV, AC, Wi-Fi.
If I do,
to nature.
And I have camped in tents. If I do camp in a tent, I try not to sleep on the ground if I can help it.
I mean, how aren't you going to be on the ground?
cots, mats. They have it all.
You could suspend the
I have
tent
I have my own air mattress.
between some trees, like a hammock, and then...
Well, that would just be a hammock camper. You could just do a hammock camping.
Dude.
You ever seen those guys? They climb the rock cliff face, and then they just sleep in hammocks on the rock cliff.
Yeah. I literally had one stretched in the basement where I'm living, but it had me going like this. Like, my leg was bowing up. So I was like, well, this ain't as comfortable as I thought it would be. I just didn't. It needs to be, it needs to be taut, like completely stretched.
Excuse me, sir. This hammock is snapping my leg in the
so
wrong
I couldn't
direction.
do it anymore. I ended up getting a couch, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a little better.
Otherwise, you sleep like on your face and your legs go up.
It was kind of cute, dude, because Tessa was like in my arm and the curl, like.
Well, okay. Well, all that to say is welcome back to the WWE, guys. Welcome back to Weird World Variety. I hope you all are still weird. I hope everything is staying weird.
We are.
We definitely are weird. And we have some fun stuff for you today. So speaking of camping, this is actually the subject of our first section. So let's get into it.
There was a point to that rant.
There was. Let's get into it. So I've got a few fun camping stories. I thought we would tell some funny camping stories. I know that in my experience, I've had a few. We've all had our fun camping, what we call disasters and crazy things that have happened. So I thought I would go through this. I'm going to read the first one, and then I got some others for you, and Jessica will read one. We're going to take turns here, and it's going to be fun. So here we go. First one is work trip turns soggy.
You want me to read it, or are you going to?
I got the first one, and you get the next one. Dan from Wolverhampton had a camping nightmare a few years ago while on trip for work. Myself and two former colleagues, he says, who were also very close mates, had put up a tent in the blazing sunshine, all ready for a weekend, working in, how do you say that?
Llandudno?
London, Landundo? Landundo?
Llandudno.
No.
There's two L's now.
It's probably pronounced something different. Like
Yandudno. Yan, maybe?
We are so white. All right.
I'm not white. You can claim that, but I'm not.
With a few beers and food. A couple of days later, we had torrential rain that came in off the sea where we were camping at from just moments before. Water came pouring through the roof into the other single room to my left and onto the head of a 6'5" guy who was squeezed into a sleeping bag way too small for him. We woke up the next morning cold, soggy, and stinking of wet cheese and onion Pringles. We had left them in the porch area. As it turns out, we'd forgotten to put up the roof of the tent on, and the guy who had water dripping on him all night was actually using the roof as a pillow. He instantly became a nonsensical rant, blaming the queen for being all high and mighty in her palace and not having to camp for her job. It was absolutely hilarious, but we managed to have a great weekend. It was always the perfect story to drag up over a pint at the pub.
How did this guy not realize?
I don't know. Okay. So what he did
wasn't a pillow.
So what he did was balled up the roof and used it as a pillow. Didn't think about it. They didn't. He said it was sunny earlier, so they didn't think about putting the roof on earlier. I mean, listen, being from Ohio, you got to be ready at all times. For anything.
Pretty much.
Ohio, as you know, is bipolar when it comes to weather. So you got to be ready for the cold. You could have all 4 seasons in one day.
That's because we're right below the Great Lakes, I think.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Go to uninvited guest on camping trip.
Reddit user Stall Freak shares his story of a camping trip with his dad. I was living in southern Colorado at the time, going to college, and my dad and I decided to go camping for a night. We picked our spot, set up camp, and made dinner. Nothing unusual there. Dinner was cooked just as the sun finished going down, and I was food stuffing my face with a plate of noodles. My dad doing likewise when we suddenly hear this deafening roar. We look around, and by now it's almost so dark that we wouldn't be able to see our hands in front of our faces if it wasn't for the campfire. We were both dead silent, scared to even move. Neither of us could see any eye or tree movement or anything that would indicate wildlife, but we were both certain we heard a roar, and it was so close that we were both certain it was a bear, whereas a mountain lion would have had a more cat-like roar. Let's go, my dad said, tossing his plate into the fire. I did the same, and we hopped in his truck and took off, petrified. My dad is a total cheapskate, so for him to leave his tent, or his camp, tent and all, out where anybody could grab it, plus waste $15 in gas to go home and then have to come back and go home again, says a lot.
Okay, I don't know about you, but if I was out camping, even if it was just one or two of us, and there was a loud, because I've heard this story before many times, and there was a loud roar next to our campsite, I'm booking it. I am not staying there.
I'd be like, come on, don't be a wuss. I said, let's go see what it is.
Jesse would be the guy in the horror movie.
I would venture in.
That would venture into the darkness.
Where'd that roar come from?
You know all the dumb decisions in horror movies? Yeah, that's Jesse.
I'd be looking around. Hey, I'd roar too, like, roar, and see if they roared back again.
He'd be like, hey, come here. Or if it was a mountain lion, he'd be like, here, kitty. kitty.
Yeah, my luck, nothing would appear, though, because I want it to happen.
What was it they always say? Don't feed the bears.
I will wrestle the bear, okay?
Oh, my
I ain't
gosh.
scared.
I would wrestle the bear.
I'd wrestle the bear.
Okay, I just saw one that I think we should read.
If he shows me his belly, I'll try to pet it.
This is a bonus story. It's called Held Hostage by Cows.
What? How do you get held hostage by cows?
I don't know, but I'm ready to read this.
Read that.
All right.
That sounds
it's
so
from
weird.
user Rabbit Hole Gatekeeper. All right.
What? Rabbit Hole Gatekeeper.
I went camping alone and planned what should be an awesome route. I left late in the day, and the views were spectacular. I live in the UK, and the most scary animal you're going to come across is a cow. There you go. That's a great camping right there.
The scariest animal is a cow.
Yeah, I mean, because they don't have a lot of scary animals in the UK, so there you go.
Oh, my gosh.
There's been lots of stories in the news the last few years of people being attacked by cows, so I'm pretty nervous around them. Anyway,
because you know what'll dampen a camping trip? Cow attack.
Well, you know what we do to cows here in America if they attack us.
Well, we don't even have to attack us. We just like, hey, you look tasty.
McDonald's. No. At the end of my route, I had to go through a farm. Long story short, there were no gates on the walls that contained many, many cows with calves and one big bull. They surrounded me, eyeing me up. I guess the funny part was the photo I got from the tree that I climbed to escape them. Had to improvise and spent the next 3 hours in the dark in 6 foot tall, I want to say bracket. Okay, so in the tree, in the 6 foot tall tree, because it says bracken, trying to find a way around the farm. No luck. Slept in the bracken. So
Oh, it's like a thicket, I think.
Yeah. So next day, the cows were still there, and the bull charged me. When I thought I'd be braved, and I tried to go through them again. So had to hike 7 extra miles down a busy, narrow country road back to civilization. So that camping trip got ruined.
I never thought I'd hear about a cow attacking somebody.
Who would I?
Except in a pen, you know.
I don't
in
think
a rodeo
I don't
or
think
something.
they plan to sleep in a tree away from the cows. Usually you're in a tree, you're trying to escape a bear or a lion. Nope. Trying to escape the cows.
Cows.
The mean old cows are at it again. They must have some attitude over in the UK. Like the cows got
Toros
attitude.
had an attitude. So.
Jeez. Tent turns into swimming pool. That's all you, bro.
Hannah from Brighton shares her story of a tent failing to keep her dry while she was at a festival.
Oh, that sucks.
I went to secret garden party a few years back and borrowed my friend's pop-up tent. I had a slight issue as one of the tent poles, had broken slightly, making it look a bit floppy, but it seemed fine, or so I thought. On the first night, the heavens opened, and I woke up at 6 a.m. to find I was actually lying submerged in a pond inside my tent.
Oh, no.
It had completely flooded and had rained so much that I was basically swimming in my sleeping bag. It was only thanks to my incredible brother-in-law who went and brought me a tent from one of the festival shops that I didn't have to sleep in a puddle for the rest of the festival.
Oh, my gosh. And they got a picture of it. Did you see the picture?
Yeah. Little tent pole.
I mean, I wonder if she had a dream at all that night, because you imagine like going to sleep if you have a dream and you wake up in a pond. You wake up in your own little pool.
Well, my question is, where are the fish?
Yeah, I know. Like, right? They'd be like,
not even a single goldfish in there.
No, not
That's
even one. That's
kind of sad.
Not even one. You got to go to the store for that one. But yeah, dude, that would be crazy. If you guys have some funny camping disasters or funny camping stories, please let us know. You can always talk to us on our Facebook community.
Or Instagram.
Instagram, Weird World Variety with Matt and Jesse. And all you have to look for is Weird World Variety with Matt and Jesse. As soon as you type that in, it'll pop up, and you guys can share your camping stories. If you have a funny comment or whatever else you guys want to tell us, please contact us there. We would love to hear from you. That is hilarious. And speaking of hilarious, I have something else for you today. It is now time for our Dumb Criminals of the Week. We talked about some funny stories. I have some funny dumb criminal stories for you. And number one, I'm going to go through, and then I'll give you the second one. Bro, people are just crazy. Okay, this happened in February of this year, 2023. And I thought it was hilarious because we all know social media is nuts, right? So social media has blown up and gone crazy. Everybody knows about TikTok. There's a lot of people acting crazy on TikTok because they just want the fame. And I thought this was an interesting story.
Right in that ballpark?
Yeah. So let's just get into this. TikTok challenge drove teens to act like the Kool-Aid Man. Remember the Kool-Aid Man from the 90s?
Oh, yeah.
The commercials of him doing crazy stuff, busting through walls. All right, well, here we go.
I'm surprised more people didn't ask to drink some of his Kool-Aid.
Well, here's what happened. Another day, another stupid TikTok challenge. This time, it involves a group of Long Island teens who allegedly decided to emulate the Kool-Aid Man's moves of busting through walls. Except in their case, they're accused of kicking down local fences.
Oh, my gosh.
Fox News reports that Suffolk County police arrested 5 minors and 1 adult, all males between the ages of 12 and 18, after a homeowner in Centereach heard a commotion outside of his house around 1 a.m. What are they doing out at 1 a.m.?
That's not that late.
on a Monday. I mean,
Monday, I guess.
You're talking about 5 kids and an adult, but like, don't they have school? Like, what's going on? All right. It sounded like a gun go off.
Your dad's coming out. Oh.
It sounded like a gun go off. Retired corrections officer Charles Damiani tells NBC New York, noting that he ran outside and found multiple sections of his fence broken. Surveillance video showed a group of teens breaking through the fence. Damiani called the cops, and they showed up at the residence about 3 hours later so he could make a statement. As they were talking, he again heard clatter coming from somewhere near his fence. This time, I ran into the road and I jumped in front of the car and stopped them, he says. Police found 6 suspects in the vehicle, called their parents, and ticketed them. They were just driving around, kicking fences down. So remember the guy who used to go around snipping trees?
The arborist.
This is kind of the same energy right here. I guess. They were driving around, kicking down fences. You're 12 years old. You're out at 3 o'clock in the morning. Where are your parents?
There it is.
That's exactly what I was saying. Oh my gosh.
So you're like, don't they have school? I mean,
something like, what is going on? Police say
they don't care anymore, man.
I guess not. Police say it appears at least 4 other homes in the area were hit by the same perpetrators. Through an investigation is still underway. So both incidents appeared to be linked to a TikTok challenge, which participants try to bust through walls, doors, fences, and other structures. Okay, let's start there. All right. First of all, you see the Kool-Aid man bust through a wall. Number one, what makes you think that's a good idea?
They don't have the girth usually, so I mean, or the strength, or the.
That's like those.
Solidity.
Remember the old AFV videos we used to watch of people running into walls, like thinking they're a superhero. You do not reenact this stuff. Number two, okay, we turned it into a TikTok challenge. As you know, most TikTok and YouTube videos are fake. Spoiler alert, if you don't know that, I'm sorry to ruin your day.
Foam walls,
but
or
they
salt
are
or
fake,
sugar,
right?
or whatever.
Exactly. So most
Not
of those
real.
creators buy their own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, for the videos. If you're gonna reenact a video, do it on your property with your own stuff that you bought. Don't be
Otherwise, you're just a delinquent.
Don't be running through the neighborhood at 3 a.m, busting people's houses and fences down. I'm sorry, but how dumb can it get? You know, every week.
Apparently, it can get dumber.
Every
all the
week
time.
we are saying the same thing. You know, people can't get any dumber. It does. It just gets crazier.
There is no end to how dumb people can get.
So if there's any families listening to this, do not reenact everything you see on TikTok or YouTube, please.
Control your kids.
And if you do reenact it, do it with your own stuff. Because otherwise, you will get arrested. Guaranteed. That's called vandalism, kids. Let's learn about it.
Destruction of property.
Destruction
also.
of property. But yeah, it's just, I thought that was hilarious, man. I instantly saw the Kool-Aid man and I'm like, what the heck? The Kool-Aid man is in the news.
We can probably thank Family Guy and other things for that.
Probably. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we have the holidays coming up. You know that. We're in between the seasons right now. I thought this one was interesting because this next story that we're going to talk about has a little bit of a Home Alone flair. And if you look, I'm sending it to you now.
Oh, it's a new one?
No, it's one you got. There you go. All right, cool. So here's what the title reads, and I'll let you judge, Jess. Cops. Robbery suspect fled. Home Alone moment ensued afterward. Gainesville police say he slipped on a patch of ice as he was trying to flee a botched robbery. And he looks pretty messed up.
swollen, bloody face.
All right, why don't you tell us what happened? What happened to this story, man?
An alleged armed robber was fought in the early hours of Christmas Day, and this wasn't last year.
This is 2022, December 29th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what police say was like a scene from Home Alone. Police say Louis
Ordonez.
Bocho Ordonez concealed himself behind a business in Gainesville, Georgia, which has been experiencing unusually low temperatures, and demanded cash from an employee who left the building around 1 a.m. Sunday. Fox 5 reports. Police say a physical altercation followed, and when a second employee left the business, Bocho Ordonez was startled and fired a shot that didn't hit anybody. He then tried to run off, but slipped on a patch of ice and hit his head, police say.
Dude.
Like or is it Harry or Mark? Yeah, Harry. I think Harry's the one that slipped and fell in Home Alone. Police
That's true.
Say witnesses took 2 guns from this is a hard name. Bocho Ordonez while he was on the ground. He was taken to the county jail and charged with armed robbery and aggravated assault. WJBF reports. Gainesville Police Lieutenant Kevin Holbrook tells the Gainesville Times that it's not clear whether facial injuries seen in the suspect's mugshot happened from the fall or an altercation at the scene.
Okay, so
we know that is how officers found him when they arrived.
Here's the thing, all right? First off, if you are robbing somebody, not to survive, I'm not talking about just trying to survive, but if you are robbing somebody on Christmas,
they deserve to be home alone.
You are the worst. I'm sorry. But I have seen this every year, people getting robbed at Christmas time, people taking packages off other people. I've seen this every year, and I'm sorry, but if you are robbing people, you are the worst of the worst. Because, number one, Christmas is not about material things.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. And if you are out here saying you hate Christmas because of all the commercialism, well, yeah, everybody dislikes the commercialism, but Christmas is not about the commercialism. First and foremost, it's about time with your family. So if you're out robbing somebody instead of spending time with your family,
and the birth of Jesus,
yeah, and the birth, yeah, but you know what I mean. For people who don't believe in Jesus, it's still time to spend with your family. That's it. Yeah. There's no like materialism that should be involved. Now the presents is a fun thing that everybody does. It's a kind of like pagan traditional thing that everybody does just for fun. Fine, but
so the Christmas stuff is pagan too.
There's a lot of story about it. Yeah,
there's still plenty of remnants from.
Yeah, but if you do your research, like you should know, again, it's about spending time with your family. It's about the season of giving, not taking. And if you're out here robbing people at Christmas, I'm sorry, but in my mind,
and Marv,
you're pretty low. The next part I wanted to say was the picture of this dude. The picture of this dude.
He kind of looks like he got mauled by a cat, more like than actually got in a fight with somebody.
He said there was an altercation and the patch of ice. That's it. There was just an altercation and a patch of ice. This dude looks like he's been through the war. I mean, I don't know like what he went through, but man, it's safe to say he got what he bargained for. I mean, oh my goodness. What was that? What's that old saying? You know, doing to others what you would have them do unto you, or the one it's like, you reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow. Bro, that's one of my favorites.
This guy got messed up. It's crazy. But another moral of the story: don't be robbing people, man. Like, and especially around Christmas. Come on. If you can't afford to get each other gifts, give each other the time of seeing each other. Like. Honestly,
that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. Like the people that love you the most are going to be happy spending time with you, not just for the gifts. And that's the whole point of Christmas. You're alive, you're healthy, you're with your family, you're very blessed. I think people get it wrong. It's crazy. And with the holiday season coming up, I just wanted to go over that one because the way they put it in the title, being a Home Alone reference. I'm a big Home Alone fan. I grew up in that era.
1 and 2 was the best, for sure.
Yeah, love the Home Alone series.
I like 3, but it's not the same without Macaulay Culkin.
That's true. That's true. I think 1 was literally the gem. That was the gemstone. You know, like a lot of Christmas movies, the original is usually the best.
But New York was pretty great.
It was decent too. Yes, I agree. There was a lot of you know what made that one great?
He had so much more at his disposal, not just his house.
Exactly, the variety of stuff.
He could go in the park. He went to his uncle's house. There was so much more he could do there.
The variety of stuff that he
the hotel. I mean,
set up. Yep, I agree.
I have trouble deciding which one's my favorite out of those two because he had more access to things.
It's true, and it was just insane and funny and hilarious. Anyway, moving on.
But I mean, you wouldn't have the second one without the first one, right? So
no,
OG.
You got to have an original.
Still,
got to have an original.
Yeah.
Here's another one I thought was great. So just to add another laugh to your day, let me just read the title for you, and this will explain everything. When you choose your getaway car, and it's an EV, make sure you charge it first.
Oh my gosh, somebody tried to use an electric car without charging it?
I was like, this is the best title I've ever seen in a long time. This was March 6th of this year, 2023. Georgia police say they busted thieves not far from the crime scene charging their Tesla.
Wait a minute, hold on. If you have enough money to buy a Tesla, what are you doing involved in crime? Is what I want to know.
I don't know. We're gonna find out because I have no idea what's going on here. All right, here we go. When endeavoring to avoid headlines for criminal idiocy with a green flare or green thumb, you'd be best to remember one simple rule. Charge the EV in which you are attempting to flee the scene of the crime with. As Fox 5 reports, police say 2 would-be criminal masterminds robbed gaming systems from an unnamed store in the Gwinnett County, Georgia. Responding officers were told that they fled in a Tesla, put out a description to fellow cops, and wouldn't you know it, the devious twosome were located not far from the crime scene, charging the aforementioned Tesla. Police say they recovered the gaming systems along with several guns and what they believe is 2 pounds of marijuana. The suspects were not identified in a tweet applauding the work of officers from Gwinnett County Police Department. Bro. Okay, so talk about, I would think, and hear me out, I would think that Teslas are the worst getaway cars you could ever do. Here's my reasoning.
Electric?
They are electric, number one. They have a very short range, only 300 miles, sometimes a little bit more, but let's face it, that's it. And even if they have a longer range, number 3 beats them all, whereas it is a smart car. You know how easy it is to locate a smart car? The entire car runs from a computer. The entire car. Really? So if they knew not only the license plate, but the model number of the car, anything about the car, they could literally located it if they wanted to, no matter where it was.
Wow. That definitely makes me not want a Tesla.
Because electric cars, they're run off the computer. They're run off that main system. So everything has to do with that computer system. Now, somebody in the comments can prove me wrong or say something. They probably know more about Teslas than I do. But from my experience of selling cars, and I sold electric vehicles, that's what I know, is that they're all connected to the central computer in the car. So
I know nothing about the electric car.
Where there is a computer, it is hackable and locatable.
Yep.
Is my point.
Yeah, that's the problem. See, they want us to go to electric cars, but that would be so much easier to do.
And here's the other issue. They're sneaking it in. I mean, if you see any of the new cars from 2023, even your regular cars now are all controlled by computer systems or have computer... not just computer chips, but a whole unit inside the car. So, not the best getaway car, in my opinion. Now, fast, yes. Probably could get away from a crime scene in a hurry. Make sure you charge it.
if it was charged.
Make sure you charge the vehicle. I thought I would brighten some people's day with those criminal stories, bro. Because it's just one thing, you know. Like, first of all, don't pursue a career in crime. It never pays off. Number two, charge your car. Charge your car. That's all I gotta say. And with electric cars comes something else electric that we must talk about. Last week, we got into the top 40 places to see Christmas lights. We did 15 of them.
We stopped at 15?
Yep. This week, we're going to do another 15. So we are going to continue. If you live around the states, these are all inside the states. And we're going to tell you the top 40 places to go Christmas light watching, which, by the way, you don't always have to have money for, like I said in the last show. So it's something fun everybody can do. Here we go. Top 40. We're on number 16. I have been to this one myself, so I can say that this one's pretty impressive. This is number 16, Branson, Missouri. No matter what holiday Silver Dollar City is dressing up for, whether it be Halloween or Christmas, whatever, they go all out. So here we go. Branson, Missouri. There's a picture there. As you can see, the entire building or set of buildings is covered in lights. Long regarded as offering one of the best Christmas light displays in the nation, Branson's 1880 style themed park, Silver Dollar City, will be decked out in a whopping 6.5 million lights for its old time Christmas festival this season. Branson also boasts more than 1,500 Christmas trees, not one, not two, 1,500, including a new community tree sure to dazzle everybody with nearly 10,000 genuine cut crystals and more than 20,000 lights.
Ooh, crystal sounds nice.
Yeah, it would be
fancy.
It's going to be fancy because I'll tell you what, Branson, Missouri, big tourist area. Missouri and Arkansas and a couple other places in general, big tourist areas.
What'd you go to Missouri for?
I was down there visiting some friends, actually.
Oh, okay.
And we went to Silver Dollar City. Anyway, it was fun. Number 17.
Natchitoches?
I'm not sure how to say that. Anybody from Louisiana can help us out with this. Nachitoches.
Nacho. I mean,
Nachos.
Nacho.
Not your Louisiana.
Nacho toches.
They know what we're trying to say, and they're probably laughing their butts off. So
there may be no other small town as lovely at Christmas as historic Nachitoches, which has, I'm probably not saying that wrong, Nachitoches, whatever, which has been producing its Christmas Festival of Lights for an astounding 95 years.
Woo!
For 45 big nights, Nachitoches listens with 300,000 lights and 100 set pieces.
Heck yeah.
Dishing out special celebrations aplenty, like the all-day Christmas festival with its Mardi Gras-like Festival of Lights parade.
Now, that's one place I'd love to go visit. I've never been down there for Mardi Gras or their Christmas festivals or anything. I'd like to do some visiting for Louisiana. I think it'd be fun. The picture they have there is beautiful. Fireworks and then a bridge with a tunnel light system. That is pretty epic. So they have this bridge, and it looks like a walkway bridge. And they have like a tunnel light system above it. Or that might be a car bridge. I'm not sure. I can't tell if it's a car bridge or a walkway.
I think the goal for everybody would be to go to one state at least once. Each state at least once, right?
I've been to every state except 8 of them. I would love to go to all of them. Yeah. So I've been to a lot of them. But, man,
wow.
that would be a fun one to do, Louisiana. Especially during like Mardi Gras time or during Christmas. That would be crazy. Number 18, Denver, Colorado. This one looks epic. Double the holiday fun when you're in the Mile High City by visiting 2 Denver Botanic Gardens displays: Blossoms of Light at York Street location and the Trail of Lights at Chatfield Farms in Littleton. The former focuses on fanciful light creations, including great glowing globes filling water features. Yeah, that's a tongue twister. The latter takes visitors on a 1-mile stroll through light tunnels, singing Christmas trees, and many more.
Lighted water balloons? That's cool.
Those
water
are
globes.
Sick. Doesn't that remind you of like Japan almost?
Yeah.
With like the red glow.
Like the lanterns maybe?
Yeah, kind of like the red lanterns, but I would definitely go there. That looks fun. Number 19.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. Founded in 1997 as a fundraiser for ABQ Biopark, a consortium that includes 4 separate facilities, including the city's aquarium, zoo, and botanic garden.
My goodness.
Albuquerque's River of Lights has grown to feature millions of lights and 600 holiday displays. Now the biggest walk-through holiday light production in New Mexico, it still raises money for ABQ Biopark projects.
So you'd have something to do all day there. That's 4 facilities.
There's a fountain in the middle that's covered in lights, looks like. Or it looks like a fountain, at least.
Aquarium, a zoo, botanic garden. That's crazy. Yeah, that fountain looks cool. I like how they did that. That's not like even a real fountain, though, is it? I can't tell. It looks like a metal frame, but it could be a fountain. Actually, you know what? That does look like a real fountain. That's crazy. That's awesome. Number 20. Never thought I'd see this one. Daytona Beach, Florida. Put the pedal to the metal. Metal. Get it? Metal. Okay. Get over to the legendary Daytona International Speedway for Magic of Lights, one of the nation's finest Christmas light displays. During this thrilling 1.5-mile drive-through extravaganza, more than 1 million lights and high-tech digital animations help create a beloved holiday characters and scenes, such as Joy to the World, 12 Days of Christmas, and Snowflake Forest. That picture doesn't do it justice, but I bet it's a lot of fun.
Terrible one compared to what it could be, probably.
Yeah, it's probably a really cool one, but that picture does not do it justice. But yeah, okay, that sounds fun. 1.5-mile drive-through, I'd do it.
Number 21, Richmond, Virginia. Tacky Christmas lights on homes are a big deal in Richmond, enough so that companies including James River Transportation, Discover Richmond Tours, and Richmond Limousine all feature their own guided jaunts of the sensational sights. Or you can always pull on your favorite over-the-top holiday sweater and sign up for the annual 6K CarMax Tacky Light Run.
Oh my gosh. That's interesting. So it's like just tacky? They went with the theme tacky? Like, okay. Okay. By the picture, what they mean by tacky, there's a lot of stuff in that front yard. Like, it is crammed. That's probably what they're talking. Oh my gosh. Interesting. Okay.
It looks like just a bunch of stuff crammed together on one house.
Like,
that's probably why it's called tacky.
Yeah, it looks like a garage sale, but with Christmas lights everywhere. All right. That's what it looks like. 22, Baltimore, Maryland. Still going strong after more than 70 years. Miracle on 34th Street in Baltimore's funky Hampton neighborhood serves up row house after row house of decked out with glittering lights. Annual tongue-in-cheek wonders include a Christmas tree decorated with hubcaps and a snowman made from bicycle wheels.
What?
That's kind of cool. Yeah, so this whole all these streets get together and do this light show, basically. That's pretty cool.
Where's the snowman made out of bicycle wheels?
I don't know. I want to see that. So I guess we'll have to go.
They don't have a picture of that.
We'll just have to go to Maryland, bro.
How are you gonna call it out and then not put it in a picture?
I mean, they're just making you come there so you can go to Maryland and see it.
Jerks.
Jerks. All right.
Number 23, Pierre, South Dakota. The stunning Christmas in the Capitol celebration kicked off in 1981 with just a dozen trees, but today features nearly 100 elegantly lit evergreens gracing the historic rotunda and 3 floors of hallways. Keep an eye out for a wooden nativity on the second floor, thought to be well over a century old.
Oh, sweet. So this is like an indoor one, basically?
From what I can tell, it looks like it's in a building.
I don't know if it's... Yeah, because the picture it shows an indoor part, but there's probably different levels to it. That's pretty cool. That's neat. I don't know. That one's cool. I mean, we've seen some crazier ones, but that one's pretty cool. 24. Helen, Georgia. With architecture that looks like it was lifted straight out of an alpine village in Bavaria. An elaborate holiday lighting to boot. It's no wonder the Lifetime movies of Christmas Love Letter and A Taste of Christmas were filmed in Helen, Georgia. The displays include 8,000 lights gracing town's Christmas tree, while another 250,000 outline the downtown structures. That's pretty right there. That's free.
Looks like a bridge.
You can go down there and see it for free. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a walkway bridge. Looks like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that looks neat. I would definitely go see that.
Number 25, Rochester, Michigan. Dude, these buildings look entirely covered.
That's that netting light I told you about that's just insane. I think they double it up or something.
I kind of want to get some of those. The Big Bright Light Show is exactly what the name describes. 1.5 million shining Christmas bulbs lighting up a 4-block section of Main Street in Rochester. Founded in 2006, the celebration is now the biggest downtown Christmas light show in Michigan and a joy for the entire family to experience.
Dude, I am blinded by the picture.
Literally,
there are so many lights.
Each building next to each other is completely covered.
There's so many lights.
I didn't think I'd see that. That's pretty cool.
Tell me why it looks like there's a UFO in the picture.
In the sky?
Yeah.
Right above the buildings looks like there might be a UFO.
Tell me why it looks like a UFO picture. It's a triangle-shaped UFO.
I just saw 2 lights, but it definitely looks like it could be.
That's funny. Oh, man. 26. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now, I've been to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, and they are big tourist areas. So the fact that they go crazy for lights, that's no surprise, honestly. Known as the home to Dolly Parton's theme park, Pigeon Forge offers the spectacular Winterfest every season. More than 5 million lights illuminate the 6-mile Pigeon Forge Parkway, while some 80 attractions pitch in with their own displays. Yeah, it's crazy. Don't miss the 40-foot tall tree at the island in Pigeon Forge. That's one you got to see. That one's probably insane.
My mom was talking about going to Tennessee.
Yeah, it's insane. And you can see probably all the lights for free just by driving down the main strip at Pigeon Forge. It's crazy. And all the attractions are on both sides of you. So if everybody put up Christmas lights, you would just be driving right through the center of it. It's insane.
Tennessee ain't super far away either.
So. No, it's not. It's not too far away. And it'd be worth it just to go down to see that. 27.
Washington, D.C. There are more than 500,000 LED lights shimmering throughout Smithsonian's National Zoo in D.C. come the holiday season. But that's not all that delights at Zoo Lights. Look for laser light shows set to music, live musical performances, food vendors, and much more. Last year, the National Zoo took the event on the road with a Zoo Lights truck that visited all the city's 8 wards.
So what I think is really cool is that our courthouses this year in several cities around us all decided to have a musical light show, not just a light show this year. So now, like, all the lights on the building or around the building, could be around the building too, they're set to music. So they either have music playing or the lights are going crazy to the music. It's pretty nuts. 28, Stanwood, Washington. A holiday fixture in the Pacific Northwest community of Stanhope since 1997, the Lights of Christmas wows with more than 1 million lights. The drive-through event traditionally features favorites like the spectacular Cascade Splendor Mountain scene, the larger-than-life nativity, and costume characters like Santa and Mrs. Claus.
I like that one has angels in the picture.
Right? That's pretty cool. I like the mountains. Like, if you look at the lights on the mountains, it's pretty sick. It's going up the edge there behind them.
Oh, yeah. That lighted mountains. That's awesome.
That's sick. 29.
Hallelujah Mountains. Oh.
Have you been to the mountains? No, I've seen them.
29. Boise, Idaho. Gardens in the snowy season can have their own special beauty, very different than summer's lush charms. And that's certainly true of Winter Garden Aglow at the Idaho Botanical Garden. Founded in 1997 when employees hung 2,000 strands of white lights around the property, the display now features 4,000 strands illuminating the garden's walking path. Local food and drink vendors and a holiday photo booth selfie station also add to the good times.
Oh, I love that. Okay, can we get more light celebrations where people are just selling hot chocolate and other things? Like I don't know if you know this, but like back when we used to do, I don't know if your family does this, but instead of getting you have the choice between a fake tree and a real tree.
My family's so boring.
we go out. Well, we decided to go out and get a real tree. So, back when everybody used to sell trees, not everybody sells them anymore. But there was a lot of places where you would walk in, you could cut down your own tree, but they would have free apple cider and cookies or hot chocolate you could buy or things like that for all their customers. It was the coolest thing ever. I would love it if more of these light displays just had hot chocolate, apple cider vendors, like stuff to keep you warm as you were going. Dude, it's so fun. It just makes it more
You can always
fun.
take the initiative and do it yourself if you want.
I'll tell you what, I heard legend. I heard legend. This is a legend, and I think it's true, of a railroad that does the Polar Express thing where they come out with the hot chocolate and they dance around and stuff and they give you like the big hot chocolate.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I don't know where it is. I only know.
Can you ride the train too?
I think so. I think you can ride
That'd
the train.
Be awesome.
I've heard stories of it. I don't know if it's true, but if it is true,
I'd be pretty surprised, honestly.
I would love to find out.
Trains aren't running much for people in the States.
And
sadly.
like we talked about last episode, if they do, it's expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
It's very expensive to ride a train now. All right. Number 30.
There's a Cleveland there?
There is.
Apparently. Okay.
Not Ohio. Cleveland, Mississippi.
That's news to me.
This sweet little town in the heart of Mississippi Delta boasts big lights come Christmas time. During 50 nights of lights, 100,000 lights shine brightly through the downtown and local walking trails. With more than 350 holiday displays contributing to the joyful atmosphere, Cleveland also holds special holiday events some days and during the weekends during the celebration. So there you go. That's 15 more. We still got 10 more. We don't have enough time today, but we still got 10 more. If you want to look this up yourself, again, article is from the Pioneer Woman. It is 40 best Christmas light displays. And if you live in one of these cities or even near one of these cities, guess what? You can see some of these for free, or you can go with your family and see one of the events. Go for it, because it's one of the most fun things to do. Usually light displays don't cost a lot, and it's something the whole family can enjoy. So I, for one, will be checking out some of these. And I might drag Jesse along with me.
Drag? You make it seem like I wouldn't want to go at all. What's up with that,
dude? I'll drag him kicking and screaming. No.
Kicking excitedly.
Kicking and screaming excitedly. All right.
Yay! That's screaming.
Honestly, everybody, that is all the time we have this week. We have a bunch more for you. So stay tuned until the next episode. We have a lot more. I didn't even get to half the stuff that we were supposed to get to today. So from
really
the WWV.
Stay weird.
Stay weird, everybody.
Keep watching with your ears.
Keep watching with your ears. Later.